Hello, how are you? Welcome to my sculpting channel. My name is Carlos and today I want to show you how you can create your own squishy. And I want to be something that you can really personalize, something that you really want to maybe give as a gift. My nieces, they asked me for something that they haven't seen out there, so they come up with a lot of ideas, but you're gonna see what they asked for. But I want to show you how you can sculpt, how can you create the mold, and how you can use this product that I'm going to show you in a moment to create your own squishes. The good thing is that if you have all this, you can create just many replicas, even start a business, I don't know, but it could be really interesting. So I'm going to show you this product. It's called FlexFoam-iT. If you have seen one of my previous video, actually I took the wrong product. This is called Foam-iT, but it doesn't have the flex. So you want to see how this other foam product work. I'm gonna leave it over here and I'm gonna put it in the description, so if you want to know more about this product. But today I'm gonna show you this one. Let's open it. Okay, and let's see what is inside this box. So we have that comes with one bottle of part A, one bottle of part B, and I know this by the color, I don't even have to read it. It comes with a manual. I see here another kind of warning that this is something that you have to be careful. It's not really for kids. I mean, if you are supervising a kid, I've seen online that and it's okay. Either a kid that listen to their parents or their guardian or whoever is checking on them. And it has just product review. I think this is one of the few that I've seen that has so much. So just I recommend to really read through. So I'm gonna put it aside because I already know. So basically this product from Smooth On, this is not a sponsor video, but I've said it many times, these products are really easy to use. Usually you put 1:1 ratio. In this case is 2:1 ratio, which means you put on your cup one part of A and on another cup you put two part B's, and then you have your mix. This product, the way it works is that you have, when you mix it, you have to really go at it to really mix it. Always read the box. Every product has their own time. This, the pot life is 35 seconds. To wait until you can handle it is 25, and it cures in 2 hours. So something just to have that in mind. So we're gonna start. I'm gonna show you first. Okay, let's start now first creating our piece. I'm gonna use Monster Clay. If you wanna know more about this material, I'm gonna leave a link over here and in the description. This one I really love. It's really easy to use. But the reality is that you can use any materials, almost any material. It could be polymer clay, it could be plastiline, it could be maybe any type of ceramic. And I'm talking about just before you bake it. It could be, but it has to be dry. It could be anything that doesn't have a surface that absorbs liquid. Now if you have something that is made out of any type of fabric, that's not gonna work when we create the mold. So just have that in mind. Just something that you can use, that you can sculpt something that it will be kind of solid. Like I say, it doesn't have to be completely, just you have to be careful when you create your mold, otherwise you can deform some parts. But pretty much you can use anything. And one of the ideas to create this is because my nieces wanted me to create something that they haven't seen. They throw at me so many ideas. At the end they wanted me to create a baby watermelon. So that's what I'm gonna do today. Any sculpture that I use, usually you want to have something like an armature. This one I'm gonna just use aluminum foil. It just helped me to have something rigid inside, and also I don't spend that much clay on top. I'm putting the material slowly to try to create this shape. It's kind of easy. It's just circular. One of the things that was more complicated is to create a diaper. I never really even thought about doing something like that. I think that was one of the hardest. And I'm gonna create the pacifier and some small details I wanted to try to do eyes and other details at the end when I'm gonna paint it, but I wanted to see how much details these materials can capture. So one of the things that I want to say when you're creating your sculpture is to think about your design. If you have something that is really complicated, where you have wings or you have a tail that comes out of your character, or even creating like a arm with fingers, it's possible that the foam doesn't get completely all the way on every single part, and it's possible that it won't fill the whole thing and it won't be perfect. It could be because it is foam. My experience is more with resin and other materials. With this one, I'm not really sure the first time that I use it. But one thing that I know is that if you do something, let's say you have like a tail, it will be really easy to break. So over here, I'm trying to have everything together, everything compact, to make sure that even if my nieces are playing, squishing it, it's gonna last a little bit longer. Probably it's not gonna last much. Like you can see also, I'm just using one tool, mostly my hands, but this tool is just like a tiny spatula. You can use, if you don't have any tools, you can use a spoon. The smaller the better. You can use the other end of the spoon has a spatula. You can use even a fork and just use one of the tiny, depending on the details. You can use a toothpick. Toothpicks, I've seen people doing amazing things. So you don't have to have really all the most amazing sculpting tools. And you just adding and slowly creating your shapes. Like I said, over here I'm just pushing the clay, try to make sure that I have certain design. And now it's time to create or mold. Now that I'm happy, now that I have my watermelon baby, and I'm gonna create using a smooth on. You can see these bottles, they're really similar to the one that I'm gonna use for the squishy, but this is the Ribbon 25. I'm gonna use these tiny cups. They have lines they're gonna guide me, because I have to have exactly the same amount of part A and part B. So I'm gonna try just to fill it up into the line. This one you can take your time mixing it because it takes time to dry, but basically what I find out is that if you do like a big batch, it's gonna take really long time, to some hours to dry. But if you mix really small ones, it won't take that long. So over here I'm doing just a small batch. The way it works is you brush your this material, you mix it until you don't see any white, everything's just pink, and that's how you know that you have a good mix. And you start just brushing on. If you use an actual brush, just have in mind that you're never going to use it again for painting. The best thing is after you're done is to clean it right away, the best possible, just so you can reuse it. But basically it's going to be ruined, so just so you know that. And I just keep brushing, putting more. Some people like to put some of these materials on the table so they can see when the material is already dry. Over here I have a little bit of leftover, so I'm gonna put it on this bottled water cap. And this because I want to have this on the top of my mold. This is gonna help me just to, when I flip it, just to sit on the table. You don't have to do this, but I'm just gonna try it. And I just put everything else, make sure that I have most of it, and I'm just gonna wait. I waited like 5 minutes, and I can see right away over here, just touching the table, that the material is completely dry. I have to say that if you have something that is, again, fabric, you won't be able to take that off. So make sure that you put plastic, or that is a surface that is not porous, and you can see in any other material, spill right off with no issue. Okay, now that everything is dry, I'm gonna inspect my mold. Like I said, I want this on top so I can flip it, and it's gonna be like the support. You're gonna have a lot of this material dry on the cups mostly, and you can reuse that. Like I have this cup, actually I use it more for like texture of other sculptures that you can do that too. But I'm gonna use it to just not waste more materials. So I'm just gonna make another mix. This one, the best thing would have been to cut it in tiny pieces, but I'm just gonna add a layer on my piece. And I'm just gonna add these dry pieces. And like I said, it's gonna be okay. It's gonna just fuse together. And now something that I wanna show you is I have this plastic. You can use cardboard, you can use anything. But I'm gonna cut that piece because I want to have something in the bottom that is gonna press when I pour my mix. This one is gonna be on the bottom and it's gonna press so I don't have bubbles. So now I'm gonna take away, I'm gonna demold. It's really easy. This is really flexible. If you put too much, it's gonna be really hard, but still you're gonna be able to do it. So over here I have my piece and I'm ready. Okay, well, let's start making our squishy. The first thing, we have our material. I'm gonna move it aside and just make sure that you use something to protect your table. I'm gonna use a plastic bag. You can use any type. I have my material over here. I have my gloves. I know sometimes you don't see me with gloves, but I use it all the time that I'm practicing or I'm doing it off camera. But when I'm trying to show you, I don't know why I forget to use it. I have my tool to mix, my cups. I'm gonna use these tiny ones this time because I know this foam, if it is like the other one, is gonna expand, and I don't really need that much. So, and of course you need your mold. And your mold, I put in this one too much on the side when I created it, so it doesn't stand the way I want it, but I can use another one. And this is just to make sure that I have time to just mix it, pour it, and that's it. Okay, so I'm gonna use my part B. And I heard you put just a little bit more of the part B. It's gonna be a little bit more squishy. So that's something to maybe that you want to do. So over here I'm checking. I'm trying to see with the light. Trying to check. I think I'm gonna put a little bit more of the part B. You can use something else, has a measurement cup, or have a third cup and just use that. This is not the perfect way. I could have used spoons and do 2 spoons of one and then 1 spoon of the part A. Remember, if you use anything like a spoon, you cannot use it again to eat. Leave that for your craft. And let's start. And I'm gonna start mixing it. Remember, you only have 35 seconds, so I really suggest to have a way to measure time and just start really doing really fast. The best way in that I find out is that if you have details, like example in this mold, my details are in this side. So basically what I do when I have my mix, I just pour some and I try to rotate it. I try to push it to make sure that the liquid is close to the details, and the liquid goes into the details. I even rotate a little bit. You don't have a lot of time, so I do it really quickly, and then I just finish pouring and I just let the magic happen. So just something to know, to go around, to try to, and that's mainly if you have a lot of details and one of your tries didn't work. That could be a way to keep it. One thing that I like to do is to put just a piece of cardboard, and that's gonna make pressure and get rid of the bubbles. Supposedly have a better effect on your squishy. Something that I saw on the company webpage is that they drill some holes and they have a better mold. This mold, the reality is too flexible. You could maybe put something to make it not as squishable. And what I'm saying is because you're gonna put pressure, so the more pressure you can put without moving your mold is the best. So some people create mold that are square, that has really thick silicone, and then you can just press and it can handle the pressure. But that will be, there's other products for that, but it will be a lot of silicone use, and I'm trying not to expend much, so that's the way I did it. You can actually also put some like a plaster thing, and you can use, I use this cardboard. I did other tries that didn't turn out the best. I'm gonna show you. While I was waiting for one to dry, I also did a couple ones. One, it was my mask. It didn't, I'm gonna show you right here. It didn't work out because I didn't really clean the mold. So it had a little bit of cement, so you can see how always clean your molds. I knew something like that was gonna happen, but I like to try things. And also did my wolf that I really like. Look, I don't know if you can see how it's almost how it turned out. I was trying to do different molds. I didn't have enough of the mix, of course, because I'm doing the small ones. I suggest if you have multiple molds. I've seen people doing like just like cupcakes, silicone molds in other like type of rectangles. Those silicone molds, it looks like it's really easy just to pour it, and you can make like a big mix and just go around it. Me, I did a really small mix. And one thing that I really like is that you cannot really notice, but first of all, I had just a little bit of this wolf, and then I pour more, and just everything stick together, and it looks like really like if I was only one piece. So I really like that you cannot really tell that I had just a little bit, and then I put more to create this one. So that's a way maybe that you can fix squishies, or that you can use something maybe useful. If you run out, don't throw that away. You can maybe just put more mix, and you can save that squish. And after that, I didn't leave it that long. I should have left it longer. I'm really liking it. It's really squishy. You can see over here all the details, and even this thing from the pacifier, it looks amazing, and it feels really good. So for being my first try, this is really great. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna try to do it again. I created multiple ones, so now that I have my replica, this one is like the seventh time that I do it. And I can see over here, it has some defects, and some of your squishies may have some defects. Here over here on the top, most of my squishies, they were completely fine. But I think it's because I didn't clean. You can see inside how it has some of the residue, but you should always clean your molds. Over here I did another try, but without the cardboard. I think it turned out really well. I don't see that much bubbles, maybe just the shape. This was really fast, and when I was mixing it, I was mixing it for too long, so I would just put it in the mold, and it was already kind of drying. So I think that's why I have so much losing so much details at the bottom. This one I also did a mix where I put a little bit more of the B part, so it's really squish. It's now time to paint. I grabbed one of the really bad ones. You can take some of the damaged parts. I tried to fix it, cut some part with scissors. I didn't really do it perfectly, and I don't really have the time. But what I wanted to do is you can use a knife or anything to take the bad things. Of course, if you take the thin layer, you're gonna see right away, instead of being smooth, it's gonna be like a sponge. It's gonna have that texture, so that's something to have in mind. I'm using one of the worst one just because I wanna see if I can, with the paints, get rid of some defects, or just wanna see how it looks like, pretty much. And I'm gonna leave the good one for my nieces to paint. But I'm gonna use these colors that I found at Walmart, really cheap. I didn't have a big budget, so I just have those 4 colors. So I'm just gonna, it's not gonna be the perfect watermelon colors, but I'm gonna try to use this and see what happens. So I'm just gonna start with white. I know I need to be careful not to spread the paints everywhere, so I'm just gonna do my first coat, but I can see right away that it's gonna take a lot of time, that I'm gonna need more than one coat. So I'm gonna let this dry, and I'm just gonna keep working on it. This is gonna be off camera because I have to wait until it dries. Came back. Sometimes I had other things to do. Maybe you don't have to wait that long. I did the green was like 4 layers. I'm applying the orange one that I know. I just wanted to see those lines. I know sometimes they're yellow or dark green, so for sure this is not the best color for a watermelon, but I'm just gonna do it like this. I was trying to do like a really thick coat of paint just to see if it will crack when I squish, like and it's not. It's doing a really good job. And we're done painting, if you can call this painting. This is my squishy. I had only 4 colors, so it's not the best. I tried to cut it. I tried to see if I can fix it. There's another way to fix the squishies. This video is not for that one, but I wanted to use one of the words just to make sure to see if I can fix something with the paint. It didn't turn out that well, you can see right away, so maybe you can do other things. But like I said, this is not a restoring a squish tutorial, just I grabbed the words of my attempt. I'm still kind of happy. It squish, you can kind of hear the paint because it hasn't dried. I really like it. I have to be honest, reviewing this product, I was thinking that will be almost the same thing than Squishies. It's true. I'm gonna show you. I did different, we can say tries, where I didn't really measure. I just tried to add a little bit more of the A or the B. I didn't put enough of the A. You can see that it's become harder. If I put more of the B, I can tell that it's more squishy. I'm gonna show you over here. If I squish this too, you can still squish. It's not gonna be really hard foam, but just to know that it's not gonna be that squish. Another thing that I want to say is that you can squish it, but it's more like a feel of like a sponge. It goes back to the original shape. It's not like that soft squish that you get on some squishies. So just to know that this is not gonna be that pleasant squish. It's gonna be just like a foam squish. Still fun. Still, I think, really great. More if you do something with your kids and you're supervising. I think it'll be amazing to just see things coming to life. I really like it. This, I don't know, maybe with this economy could be a good side hustle business, just to create some squishies, of course, to sell the ones that turn out really well. And but still, no, I really like. It's my creation, even if it's not the best, even if it doesn't look like a watermelon. This is my watermelon squishy. Have fun creating. If you want to help me in this channel, please watch my other videos. If you like my content, it has been really hard to reach the 4,000. I feel like I can never reach that, and I'm like, should I just give up? I don't know yet, but create your own things, enjoy art, and see you next time.